Welcome to the Early Edge in 5. I am the counselor of cash, and we were with you in the AM. We're going to be with you in the PM every single day. We are your daily sports betting brand. Couple comments I saw in the chat. Yes, Victor Hovland from the Early Wedge. He was our first-round leader pick, mine specifically. He's up at the top. We have a suspension in place, so we may have a sweat the rest of the day, maybe into tomorrow morning. And I got to give a shout-out to some of you on Twitter. Tom in Pittsburgh, really appreciate what you sent to Coach about the entire brand, SportsLine, the Early Edge, and the Early Edge in 5. We love all the compliments there. Speaking of compliments, we have a compliment of riches. Let's get straight to it. This is supposed to be the Early Edge in 5. We're not going to get it in 5 minutes. What we have right now is an embarrassment of riches. We've got Jason Spector. We've got Mike Barner, EC, and, of course, my favorite, because I'm with him all season, every season. It's Propstarz, of course. My friend in the NFL, my friend in the NBA, MLB, you name it. We are on the same street. Specty, real quick, how you doing?
We went to the game last night. Fantastic game, except for the fact that my Giants lost to the Dodgers again. It was brutal, but other than that, we're ready to go here today, Sia.
All right, and Mikey B, I haven't had you on Early Edge in 5 this week, so I haven't had a chance to give you a salutation. How's the week going? How you doing today?
Good. I actually just got back from a mini 3-day vacation with my family, spring break week for the kids, so I'm happy to be back on the show and hopefully hand out a couple of winners.
And Mike, your Chicago Bulls won yesterday, so that's great. And if you watched the Early Edge morning edition yesterday, you know that Mike and I were definitely on the dogs there. So we got a couple outright wins. EC, how we doing?
Sia, I'm not real happy. I played a 6-team SGP in that Thunder Pelicans game. The last leg I needed was SGA over 4 to get 4 assists. He had 3 at halftime, didn't get 1 in the second half, and I lost.
Ouch. That actually
5 out of 6. Brutal.
And finally, Proppy, how we doing today?
Gentlemen, what's good? I'm fired up. I'm surprised you didn't tell the chat, by the way, what's up, chat, that we were having a great time talking about olive production and garlic festivals prior to going live. So the chat really missed out on some compelling information.
And thank you for getting them even more involved, by the way. You do not want to be privy to the conversation we have, but I can tell you they're all very interesting in their own unique way. What is also interesting is when you hit the like button. So everybody, if you're in here right now, go ahead and hit the like button. Well, we got to get started. Specty, I want to start with you. By the way, we got a lot of baseball plays today. We got a sprinkle of an NHL play too. And of course, we had an NHL play from Allie earlier at the 10 a.m. show. So Specty, let's start with you. You got a baseball play.
Yeah, with no NBA tonight, we're going over to baseball. And with all the runs scored yesterday, I'm going to go with an under. We're going Brewers, Padres, under 9 runs. The Brewers as a team have an ERA of just 2.83, fourth best in the league. The Padres rank 25th currently in the league with a .229 batting average and are averaging right around 4.3 runs per game. Nothing super special. Our SportsLine AI is projecting this total to only be 5 runs in this game. It's heavily influenced by the Brewers pitching today. And I know we got a small sample size for baseball still, but that's the numbers I can work with, and that's what the model likes best today.
That is a staggering differential from our data scientist, Jason Spector. I absolutely love that. Great pick there. I'm going to be tailing that. EC, you've got a handful of picks as well. Let's hear them.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I just hit a 4-pick SGP in the Orioles game. Adley Rutschman with a walk-off home run. So thank you for that, Adley. All right, we got let's keep it on a roll today. Let's start with MLB. There's a theme on this show that you guys will pick up on. But let's start with the Blue Jays and Matt Chapman, who's been on fire. We played him yesterday, total bases, but we're going to play over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Now, this is minus 150. It's a lot of juice, and I usually don't like to do that. But he has 4 multi-hit games in a row. He has a hit in at least in 11 out of his 12 games this season and multi-hits in 8 games. He's driven in or scored a run in 10 of these 12 games that he's played. And he hit .313 with 4 homers and 16 at-bats in 2022 against the Tigers. I just love this. I know the juice is there, but, I mean, Matt Chapman's on a roll. Might as well ride the hot streak. You know, like Jamie does with Brooke Lopez in the NBA. I'm going to do it with Chapman here in baseball. Next game we're going to roll to Tyler O'Neill of the St. Louis Cardinals, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. That's minus 120. He's 3 for 4 lifetime with 2 homers and 4 ribbies against tonight's starter, Vince Velasquez. He had 2 hits and a home run on Wednesday, starting to heat up, and he's hit this number in his last 4 starts. I think he makes it 5 tonight. And then, Sia, you alluded to a hockey play. Well, I couldn't resist the last full night of the NHL regular season. The Devils need a win and a Carolina loss to capture the Metropolitan Division title. Their team total over is 3.5 at -130. We're going to ride the over because Washington doesn't care about this game. They're trying to lose. The Devils are one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Washington 4-13 since March 6th. In those 13 losses, they've given up at least 4 goals 11 times. New Jersey has scored 5 or more goals in 6 of their last 7 wins. I think it's a 3-0 night. And you guys asked me about parlays. I'm parlaying all 3 of them together. Let's hit it.
Let's hope Coach is not watching. And by the way, we talked about V squared Vinny Velasquez. He's going to be a theme for the rest of the picks. We're going to have a lot of synergy here. There's somebody in the chat who asked about the Tommy Fleetwood bet, the 3-ball that I had earlier today. They're halfway through the round and play has been suspended. As I mentioned with that first round leader ticket with Hovland, it has suspended the Tommy Fleetwood matchup. He is tied with one of the 2 people he's going with, and then those 2 guys are one up on the other guys. So it's just in the thick of things. There's really no distinct advantage with that bet yet. We got about 9 or 10 holes to play with those guys. All right, we talked about Vinny Velasquez. We talked about the Cardinals a little bit. Proppy, I want to go right to you because you have a bet that looks like it's a V squared fade. Tell me about it.
Yeah, rare departure from the prop streets for me, but I really like this spot. It's the Cardinals run line. Shout out to Mikey B, by the way, for leasing this play out to me. He got to this a little bit before I did, but yeah, I love the Cardinals in this spot. It's been a shaky start to their season, certainly performing below expectation. Their bats have been okay, though. They're 6th in OPS. It's been the starting pitching that's really struggled for the Cardinals, but Jordan Montgomery is taking the mound today. He is by far their best starting pitcher. He has pitched really well since being acquired midseason last year, and he is going to be facing off against the aforementioned Vinny Velasquez, who has really struggled. He's got like close to a 10 ERA this season, almost a 5 ERA over the course of his career. The Cardinals have also hit him very hard. Specifically, the Cardinals will be playing today. This game is also at Busch Stadium, which I think is obviously advantage Cardinals as well. And then Jordan Montgomery has had a lot of success against the Pirates. So this is a really good spot, in my opinion, to have a bounce back performance for this Cardinals. I think this is going to potentially be the start of a streak for them.
Yeah, and it seems like a bit of a whoopsies, Proppy, with respect to the Yankees letting Jordan Montgomery get over to the Cardinals. I mean, I know it's the Yankees, so they'll just spend money because, you know, they're so good at spending money, apparently, with a $280 million payroll. But letting Jordan Montgomery go, not so sure about that, right?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, huge miss for him. I think it's obviously hard to find quality left-handed pitching. Real quick, Sia, I just had a question I wanted to pose to the chat. Has anyone ever thought about, when they watch the great EC give his tremendous takes, that there is a bobblehead over his shoulder that looks like a spitting image of EC? I often think, is this EC's own personal bobblehead? So when EC is on, I just am fixated on that EC bobblehead.
It's not, though. Thank you, Proppy. This is Rob Gronkowski, but I hope Gronk isn't listening, because that's a real insult to him that, you know, he kind of looks like, bobblehead looks like me, isn't it?
First of all, you're right. That is disturbingly similar. I can't even believe that. You look well, we know what you're going for Halloween. It's 201 days away. I happen to know that for reasons I don't want to get into. So we have 200 days to get your eye black and your whatever, whether it's an Arizona jersey or a Patriots jersey or a Tampa jersey. But yeah, that am I wrong? I think Proppy's right. That looks exactly like
way more hair than me. Yeah, way more hair than me, though. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's.
Speaking of people with way more hair than you, we have Mikey B still to go. You are in, the maestro-ish spot. I know it's EE and 5, but still, it's the final spot. It's the cleanup hitter. And Proppy alluded to it. You actually liked this. You liked his run line bet, but you found a different way to attack the Cardinals. And then you got a Blue Jays play as well. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, we're all beating up on Vince Velasquez today, just like the Cardinals are going to be doing later. So I'll take the Cardinals over 2.5 runs for the first 5 innings. That's minus 135. As Propstarz said, he has almost a 5 ERA for his career. What's bad about his problems is he has a career 1.38 whip, and he's allowed 1.5 home runs for 9 innings. That is not a winning combination. He has pitched fewer than 5 innings in both of his starts this season, and he allowed at least 3 runs in both of them. So there's the Cardinals bet. Then we'll take the Blue Jays-Tigers game. We'll do Blue Jays run line minus 1.5. Spencer Turnbull is pitching for the Tigers. He is coming off of missing all of last season because of Tommy John surgery. He has been wild in the early going. He has pitched 8 innings. He's allowed 12 runs. He's issued 5 walks, and he's hit 2 batters. Chris Bassett is starting for the Blue Jays, much more reliable pitcher. The Tigers, they can't score. They were worse than the league last year in runs scored. They've only scored 33 runs through 11 games this year. So the Blue Jays hanging a lot of runs on Turnbull and the Tigers struggling to score. We'll do Blue Jays at -1.5 run line.
Absolutely love that. Love both of those picks. And I think the theme here is to fade Vinny. And that's clearly the play. And we've attacked it from pretty much all fronts. So I absolutely love that. Listen, guys, let's bring up the recap screen so that everybody can hear one last time, or see if you're watching us on YouTube. EC's got Matt Chapman over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -150. Tyler O'Neill over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, -120. The Devils team total over 3.5 at -130. And then the speculator has the Brewers Padres under at -110. Proppy, Cardinals run line -1.5 at -125. And Mikey B attacking the Cardinals as well. First 5 over 2.5 -135. And the Blue Jays run line -1.5 at -115. Gentlemen, full house today. This was certainly my first full house. The embarrassment of riches. Absolutely loved having everybody on the show. We tried to do it in 5 to 10. We almost got there, but that's all the damage we can do today. You know what to do next, right? You got your marching orders. We got to take all these tickets straight. It's over here today to the pay window for Proppy, for Specty, for EC, otherwise known as Rob Gronkowski, for Mikey B, and of course for Jake the Snake on the 1s and 2s and the 5s and 6s. This is the Early Edge in 5. I am the counselor, and we rest our case.